From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Tuesday, May 19th. Before we get into our top 6 stories for you this morning, our question of the day is, you should throw these away every 2 years, but with proper care, they could at least last 5 years. What are they? The answer is pillows. Myself and Megan Conway put that down, so we got that right this morning. Great way to start the day off. But if you believe you've got what it takes to get the question of the day right, usually goes right over my head, be sure to head over to our 1011 Facebook page, put in your guesses, and we read off both the guesses and answers on 1011 this morning. That being said, let's get you our top 6 stories for you this morning. Starting things off with recent destructive weather that has been constant and widespread. Scattered storms spanning from central Nebraska to southeast portions of the state. We're still working to learn the exact extent of that damage using many of the videos you've been sending us in the aftermath in your area. This video right here is showing that terrifying moment when a tornado touched down near Du Bois, Nebraska and Pawnee County around 3 p.m. yesterday. The county's emergency manager telling us they aren't yet aware of any significant damage aside from a few downed power poles, but are working to fully assess the damage. And in Nemaha County, residents of Auburn, like Tim Robertson, among the thousands of Nebraskans who are now left picking up the pieces this barrage of storms is leaving behind.
Shed that was right there is about a block down the road in a parking lot. Came down on the swing set, trees everywhere, the fence, there's broken spots of the fence.
And we'll continue bringing you updates both on air and online as we continue to piece together the aftermath of this latest round of storms. A lot of the damage still likely to be discovered later this week. Your second story, 2 heads up. Because of extensive weather damage, we have this first one. Classes are canceled in Auburn today. Auburn Public Schools releasing this message on your screen here to parents saying, quote, due to storm damage in Auburn, there will be no school Tuesday, May 19th. There will be classes on Wednesday with early dismissal. That's already been scheduled. So again, just that reminder and heads up for you this morning. Now, over in Howard County, you can now help out families in need following that devastation. This is, of course, where 2 homes were destroyed on Sunday after a tornado swept through the area. If you want to give away items, you can drop them off at the Howard County Courthouse until 4 o'clock every day. And then after 4 p.m., the St. Labori Fire Hall. Now, the Grand Island YMCA is also getting clothes together for a family of 2 adults and 2 young girls as well. Now, what you'll eventually see on your screen is the Howard County community coming together and cooking meals to help each other out. But if you want to help out or find out more of what this family needs, be sure to head over to this story on our website or the 1011 Now News app. This is just some more video of that destruction from where those 2 homes in Howard County were swept through by a tornado. So again, for more on this story, be sure to head over to our website. Now, bringing things back over to Lincoln. On Sunday, as tornado warnings went off across eastern Nebraska, it triggered plenty of sirens, including here in Lincoln. It even sounded sirens for people who weren't necessarily in the storm's path. You, the viewers, asked us why this was happening, so we reached out to Lincoln Lancaster County Emergency Management. Here's the answer right here on your screen, this siren segment map of Lancaster County. Emergency Manager Jim David Saver says if a tornado warning touches any of the 5 zones in Lancaster County, the siren will sound. So, for example, from that map, if you were in the Haymarket, you would be notified by a warning overlapping the city zone, even though the threat could be near Bennett. Regardless, sirens are designed to be a first line of defense.
I certainly don't want to disturb the peace and quiet of somebody who is outside the warned area. But again, last night is a good example. Our outdoor warning sirens are just that. The intended audience is for people who are outdoors without ready access to other means of communication.
With 840 square miles and a little over 100 outdoor warning sirens, David Sayer says they can only activate a zone when the National Weather Service issues a warning. So, the more you know on this story, I actually worked on this myself. If you actually head over to the article, you can see an example of where that tornado warning with our Carmelo Latuca doing that broadcast over, and you can see where it kind of moves in towards Bennett, but also moves up into that central zone part of that map. Now over to our fourth story, a huge heads up for drivers in Lincoln. Construction is beginning on 27th Street today as part of a multi-million-dollar improvement project. Overall, the project stretches from Nebraska Parkway to South Street. But today, closures begin from Calvert to Van Dorn Street. Along that stretch, the entire road is closed. Also starting today are intermittent lane closures on 27th from Nebraska Parkway to Laurel Street. The project itself is expected to be finished by summer of 2027. Now switching things over to Husker sports news, Jordy Fromm is a top 3 finalist for the USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year award. It is the second consecutive season she has made it to the Final 3, and she's going up against UCLA's Megan Grant and Florida State's Isa Torres for the honor. Fromm is having an outstanding senior season, helping NU win the Big Ten regular season and tournament titles. She ranks in the top nationally in ERA, saves, shutouts, and strikeouts. Fromm is also dominant on offense with a .421 batting average and 19 home runs. The winner will be announced on May 26th. Now wrapping things up with your final story, coverage of our town, Grand Island, continues. And today, we're going to be learning more about a new attraction in Grand Island designed to give kids of all ages a chance to engage in STEAM-based programming. STEAM standing for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So we're talking about the new Epic Discovery Center. As you can see here on your screen, just looks very exciting. It's set for a ribbon cutting on June 5th, and the center is located in the old Armory building in Ryder Park and will engage kids ages 0 all the way up to 18. The exhibit floor will feature about 25 interactive displays, and there's going to be a large climbing structure as well. The executive director is excited, and the doors to the center will be opening after 7 years of planning.
So we raised $7.5 million from outside of Grand Island. Great supporters in foundations, Omaha-based foundations who understand what we're trying to bring to Grand Island, and they were extremely supportive. And then we had a ton of generous support from Grand Island itself.
Now, part of those funds, Larson says this fully $12.5 million project could not have happened without the help of the community and statewide donations. Now, coming up this morning at 9 a.m. on Pure Nebraska, that's in less than an hour, folks, we'll learn more about some of the programming options and activities coming to the Epic Discovery Center. Certainly looks exciting. But that's going to do it for your Morning Pulse for this Tuesday morning. See, I remember the date this time. But we're going to toss things over to our 7-day forecast before sending it over to Brandon Rector with more. Finally, a day without a weather alert day.
Good Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. The good news I have is that today is not a weather alert day. We are not anticipating severe weather or rain chance for that matter. We'll have variable cloudiness around the area this morning, then mostly sunny to partly cloudy for the afternoon. It's going to be cool, and it is going to be on the breezy side in the eastern third to half of the area, as we'll have northwest winds 10 to 25 with some gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Those winds should decrease as we make our way into late this afternoon and evening. And for tonight, it should be mostly clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures at noon in the upper 40s to upper 50s, and at 4 we're in the mid 50s to mid 60s, well below average for this time of the year. By 8 this evening, temperatures in the mid 50s to around 60. In Lincoln for today, we're going to warm up to 64 for a high this afternoon, 12 degrees below average.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.